The monkey doesn't live here anymore. The monkey moved to Kentucky and took his people with him. And I was glad because I couldn't listen anymore to his wild screaming at night. The twangy yakety-yak of the people who owned him, the green metal cage, the porcelain tabletop, the family who spoke like guitars. Monkey, family, table, all gone. It was then we took over the garden we had been so afraid to go into when the monkey screamed and showed its yellow teeth. There were sunflowers as big as flowers of Mars, and thick coxcombs bleeding the deep red fringe of theater curtains. There were dizzy bees and bow-tied fruit flies turning somersaults and humming in the air. Sweet peach trees, thorn roses and thistle and pears. Weeds like so many squinting-eyed stars that made your ankles itch and itch until you washed with soap and water. There were big green apples as hard as knees, and everywhere the sleepy smell of rotting wood, damp earth, and dusty hollylocks thick and perfumey like the blue-blonde hair of the dead. Yellow spiders ran when we turned rocks over, and pale worms, blind and afraid of light, rolled over in their sleep. Poke a stick in the sandy soil, and a few blue-skinned beetles would appear. An avenue of ants, so many crusty ladybugs. This was a garden, a wonderful thing to look at in the spring. But bit by bit, after the monkey left, the garden began to take over itself. Flowers stopped obeying the little bricks that kept them from growing beyond their paths. Weeds mixed in. Dead cars appeared overnight, like mushrooms. First one, then another, then a pale blue pickup with the front windshield missing. Before you know it, the monkey garden became filled with sleepy cars. Things had a way of disappearing in the garden, as if the garden ate them, or as if with its old man memories put it away and forgot them. And then he found $1 and a dead mouse between two rocks in the stone wall where the morning glories climbed. And once, when we were playing hide and seek, Eddie Vargas laid his head beneath a hibiscus tree and fell asleep like Rip Van Winkle. Until somebody remembered he was in the game and we went looking for him. This, I suppose, was the reason why we went there, far away from where our mothers could find us. We and a few old dogs who lived inside the empty cars. We made a clubhouse once on the back of that old blue pickup. We liked to jump from one roof of one car to another and pretend they were giant mushrooms. Someone started a lie that the monkey garden had been there before anything. We liked to think the garden could hide things for thousands of years. There beneath the roots of soggy flowers were bones of murdered pirates and dinosaurs, and the eye of the unicorn turned to coal. This is where I wanted to die, and where I tried one day. But not even the monkey garden would have me. It was the last day I would go there. Who was it that said I was getting too old to play the games? Who was it I didn't listen to? I only remember that others ran, I wanted to run too. Fast as boys. Not like Sally, who screamed as she got her stockings muddy. I said, "Sally, come on," but she wouldn't. She stayed by the curb talking to Tito and his friends. "Play with the kids if you want," she said. "I'm staying here." She could be stuck up like that, if she wanted to, so I just left. It was her fault too. When I got back to Sally, she was pretending to be mad. Something about boys having stolen her keys. "Please give them back to me," she said, punching the nearest one with a soft fist. They were laughing. She was laughing too. It was a joke I didn't get. I wanted to go back with the other kids, who were still jumping on cars, still chasing each other through the garden. But Sally had her own game. One of the boys invented the rules. One of Tito's friends said, "You can't get the keys back unless you kiss us." And Sally pretended to be mad. At first, but she said yes. It was that simple. I don't know why, but something inside me wanted to throw a stick. Something wanted to say no when I watched Sally go into the garden with Tito's buddies, all grinning. It was just a kiss, that's all. A kiss from each one. So what, she said. Only how come I feel all angry inside? Like something wasn't right. Sally went behind the blue pickup to kiss the boys. And she got her keys back. And I ran off the 3 flights of stairs where Tito lived. His mother was ironing shirts, sprinkling water on them from an empty pop bottle, and smoking a cigarette. and his friends stole Sally's keys, and now they won't give them back unless she kisses them, and right now they're making her kiss them. I said, all out of breath, from 3 flights of stairs. Those kids, she said, not looking up from her ironing. That's all. What do you expect me to do, call the cops? And kept ironing. I looked at her for a long time. I couldn't think of anything to say, and ran back down the 3 flights of stairs to the garden where Sally needed to be saved. I took 3 big sticks and a brick and figured that was enough. Got there. Sally said, go home. Those boys said, leave us alone. I felt stupid with my brick. They all looked at me as if I was the one that was crazy, and made me feel ashamed. And then, I don't know why, but I had to run away. I had to hide myself at the other end of the garden, in the jungle park, under a tree that wouldn't mind if I laid down and cried a long time. I closed my eyes like tight stars so that it wouldn't happen, but it did. My face felt hot. Everything inside hiccuped. I read somewhere in India there are priests who can make their hearts stop beating. I wanted my blood to stop, my heart to quit its pumping. I wanted to be dead, to turn to rain. My eyes melted to the ground, like 2 black snails. I wished. I closed my eyes and willed it. But when I got up, my dress was green and I had a headache. I looked at my feet in their white socks and ugly round shoes. They seemed far away. They didn't seem to be mine either. And the garden, that had been such a good place to play, didn't seem mine either.